Here's the understanding and recognition that I've been having in recognizing that we're either too open or too closed in relationships. So if you identify as someone who gets walked on or as a doormat, this might be very important to you. Or if you're someone who's kind of afraid of love and withdrawn and feel like you're afraid to let anyone in, or you may have not been able to find anyone you have chemistry with. Both of those extremes will fit here. And I'm not saying you're extreme, but I mean, both of those extremes of connection, which will make sense to you in a second, will fit in this construct of relational connection. So I've noticed that people are either too open in relationship, like they get walked on, they don't have boundaries, they don't express their needs and their wants, they don't declare what they want out of a relationship, and then often they feel totally taken advantage of. They feel like, here again, it happened to me, and I can't find anyone who wants, I keep dating assholes, I keep dating narcissists, and all that story. And you might identify as an empath. On the other side of that, it's people who are afraid, who are shut down. If they get too close to someone, they come up with all these strategies why they can't get too close. They have, it's the difference between being picky and using your pickiness as a way to not enter relationship. So I want you to see that with boundaries, the same thing happens. Exact same pattern occurs, which is we're either too open, we allow too much bullshit, and then we explode and we're like a pressure cooker and we push away. And so we put up a wall. So remember that when we are connected to someone else with our heart, but we don't have boundaries around our connectedness, then we are connected to them, but we're not protected by ourselves. And if we are pushing them away like a pressure cooker, we're protected because we have a wall up, but we're not connected to them. And so we want to learn how to, in life, be connected to someone else and protected at the same time. Now, the biggest issue almost all of us have is that we don't know how to be in love with someone and not lose ourselves. We don't know how to love someone else and not lose ourselves. And so really the practice of understanding how to do this, especially for someone who identifies as an empath, is that you must have boundaries around your heart and your empathy. As every human must have boundaries around their openness, you must be the curator of what is allowed to enter your heart. And we don't recognize this because often maybe we didn't have someone who fought for our heart. We didn't have parents who taught us boundaries. We didn't have a good example of good relational boundaries when we were young. Our mom or dad or both shared too much information with us, or we had to observe too much. And so we never really learned how to fight for ourselves and how to protect ourselves, because if we did, we cut off our connection with our parents. That's just one of the examples of where it can come from. So I really want you to look at this week, just look at where in your life are you experiencing resentment? Where are you experiencing anger? Because wherever you resent or have anger or you feel taken advantage of or you feel like someone wasn't honest or I want you to look at how are you not prioritizing yourself in those relationships? Where have you laid down and become the doormat and let other people take advantage of you? I'm all for empathy and compassion for people who have dated someone who is a narcissist or a sociopath, of course. But there are far more people getting called narcissists than there are narcissists. And that's because when we call someone something like that, and don't confuse this with me not having compassion for people who've experienced it, or the pain that you've experienced in a relationship that caused you to identify someone as that, or to call yourself an empath so that you don't have to have boundaries. I'm just open and sensitive. If that's ever more reason why you should have boundaries, that's ever more reason why you should. That's actually a reason you should, not an excuse to not have them. And so when you actually look at your relationship to these people, it's like, where did you ignore a red flag? Where did you not protect your heart? Where did you not share your truth? Where did you not share your standards? We all need to have standards that are the price of admission to get on this ride, which, no pun intended, but you know what I'm saying. That, at a carnival, you gotta be this tall to ride the ride. I was often not that tall, but you have to be this tall to ride this ride. The same thing is true in your relationship. Are you kind? Are you honest? Are you ready for what I'm ready for? All of that matters so much. And if you will not fight for your heart, who will? So this week, this is my call out to you to say, it's your responsibility. If you don't like this message, then you definitely should pay attention. And if it feels like I'm getting mad about it, it's because I am. It's because I give a shit. It's because I know what it's like to be a doormat. I know what it's like to not know why I keep getting taken advantage of till I realize that I'm responsible for everything in my life and who I let into it and what kind of behaviors are okay. And if I tolerate shitty behavior, it means that I have to form the belief that I'm worthy of shitty behavior. But the moment I lay it down and I go, no more, I have now just set the beautiful precedent in my heart that I am worthy of love and respect from myself first, which it demands it from other people. I love you all. Have the best week. Check out my podcast. And yeah, check out my podcast. Subscribe. Give it reviews. Give me love, please. I love you all.